Hey, it's Yasuo here and today I challenge you to a short Yasuo knowledge test. Rules are simple. If you know all 10 things mentioned in the video, then I will buy you a plane. Small plane, big plane, doesn't matter, you name it. But in case you don't know all 10 things, then simply like the video and also subscribe if you like content like this because there is more to come. We will start off easy. As we all know, one of the Yasuo's passives grants him a shield that blocks some damage. But did you also know that as long as Yasuo's passive shield doesn't break, a recall won't be cancelled? As you just saw, Yasuo was shot by Jhin but he was still able to continue recalling, unlike most of the other champions whose recall would have been interrupted. But how to get shield quicker? Well, did you know that flash counts as distance traveled, which is necessary to generate flow that at 100 stacks becomes a shield? I'm not saying you should flash for that shield, but at the same time why not? We Yasuo players flash whenever we like anyway. It's worth knowing that not only flash counts towards getting that distance traveled, but also teleport works the same way. If you teleport a long distance, you can get full flow, and if you teleport a short distance, then you can get only little amount of flow stacks. Third one is something that I feel most people already know, which is using wind wall to get vision over the wall. But there is something about it that I am fairly sure many don't know, which I discovered as I was recording this video. As you probably know, it's pretty easy to get vision with Yasuo's wind wall over the Baron pit to see if someone is doing Herald or Baron. Meanwhile, the same thing doesn't appear to work in Dragon pit to get vision of dragons. But no problem guys, after casting wind wall couple of million times I found a spot that grants you vision of the dragon. So here are couple of examples where you have to stand and where you have to point your wind wall to get vision. Does your team lack knock-up abilities? Are you struggling to land tornadoes on enemies? No problem, I have got a solution for you. Simply invite your friend to hide in the bush. Wait until enemy walks over the blasting cone, and then ask your friend to trigger the cone for you. Now you can use your ultimate. Okay, with all seriousness, it's pretty nice thing to know, especially for your teammates to trigger the cone for you, because you can't use your ultimate when you hit the cone yourself, or if enemy hits it first. There are quite a lot of team fights happening in the jungle, so being prepared for it might help you get a game-winning ultimate. Similarly to blasting cone, you can get knock up on enemies if they start a dragon, but you've got to be quick with it because it's only a very short knock up. Same happens when Herald charges onto the tower while enemy stands next to it. Whether you are walking to the lane, escaping from the enemy, or chasing the enemy, in each one of those situations it comes handy if you know places where to stack your Steel Tempest while moving around the map. Clearly you can easily stack it on jungle camps that are visible to you, but here are some examples where you can do it over the walls without vision. Knowing those places is very important because tornado serves the purpose for both escaping to slow the enemy, and also to catch up with enemy to get a kill. Also, when you are walking back to the lane, it's good idea to get 2 stacks on Steel Tempest to surprise enemy laner, and potentially even get a kill. As you can see on some jungle camps you can even get 2 stacks. Earlier we spoke about getting vision with wind wall, but did you know that you can get vision also using Steel Tempest with stacked Static Shiv? As we just saw, stacking your Steel Tempest without Static Shiv didn't grant any vision on the jungle monster, but with static it does thanks to the Electra Shock passive that it has. This passive works similarly to Yasuo's flow, that is being generated by moving, but also with basic attacking. Now the 7th thing is the ability to wall dash with Yasuo. Typically it's done using jungle monsters, and in order to do that you need vision on them, which is where comes handy what we learned earlier. Both using wind wall and static shiv to grant vision over the wall is vital part of Yasuo's wall dashing. So here are all the possible ways that I was able to discover where you can wall dash. Some of them definitely need more practice than others, but once you know them then it's going to be pain for enemy to catch you. My question is though, do you know all of those wall dashing spots? Why am I talking about wall dashing mechanics so much is because if you master those then you can make so many more outplays, and here is great example that I found from League PC version. where Yasuo player literally poops on enemy mid laner and jungler because he knows how to wall dash. Eighth thing is more of a little trick to use against certain champions as Yasuo. Some say that Zed's kit counters Yasuo pretty well, because Zed can easily dodge Yasuo's tornado with his ultimate, like you can see in this situation. As I was playing Zed myself, I knew that enemy Yasuo is going to dash onto me and attempt to knock me up with his stacked Steel Tempest, which led me to use ultimate. But what this Yasuo should have done differently is to use dash, wait a little bit, and then use Steel Tempest for knock-up. The same thing goes while playing against Fiora, who can avoid Yasuo's knock-up with her second ability. For many people who are playing against Yasuo, it is common sense that if Yasuo has stacked Steel Tempest, and he dashes towards you, then it's time to use this kind of abilities like Zed's ultimate and Fiora's second ability. So next time you might want to hold your tornado for a little bit longer. I think we all know that junglers love Yasuo players, especially the enemy junglers. They always come for a visit to see how you are doing and sometimes even stay for a little bit. In case you meet one of those junglers, and you are falling behind in the game because how much he likes to hug your lane, then here is a tip for you, which is using your wind wall to freeze lanes so that you can safely farm under your turret. Simply wind wall right before enemy minions reach to your tower range, and it will block all the caster minion and cannon damage while you will take care of the melee minions. Have you ever heard about input buffering? If not, then basically it's queuing up next ability while executing another action, so that it will instantly cast after the first ability is used. In order for it to work, you have to enable portrait lock from the settings. Here is an example of one of the Yasuo combos. Lock in your target, press sweeping blade and then flash, then use stacked Steel Tempest after the flash because sweeping blade will instantly cast. To finish off, use your ultimate. It is a nice combo to pick out enemy carries if there are more enemies around, because it will always target the enemy you locked in. This input buffering feature is really useful basically with every champion that has combos, like on Zed, Lee Sin, and so on. Definitely worth trying it out. Anyway guys, if you found something useful from this video, then consider subscribing because I am planning to make more videos similar to this. I think you guys will also like this short video.